All right,
Let's go.
we're back again, and we're with a good friend it goes all the way back. We went to the same high school.
Yep.
But I've known Adam, who is a seasoned Australian combat sports veteran with a career spanning over 25 years, probably longer than that. I would say 30 plus. As a multiple kickboxing world champion, a specialist in K1 boxing styles, Adam has built a reputation not only for his own competitive success, but for his work as a personal trainer. Adam is also a K1 kickboxing boxing coach and former owner of Eddine Academy, and we'll talk a lot about that today, a high-performance gym in Sydney, one of the first in Sydney. Throughout his career, Adam has transitioned from elite competitor to a mentor, a coach. His depth of experience includes battling at the highest levels of striking sports and business as well, then channeling that into building a training environment where amateurs and professionals alike can improve. His own story includes pivotal moments of transformation, using kickboxing not only as a sport, but as a life-changing vehicle for resilience, self-belief, and purpose. Adam, welcome.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for having me.
It's only a little bit of what you've done, but we're going to get into that. And off camera, we were talking about, the years that we've been in the industry, and you and I were just down the road. And I've just done some recent videos of my gym and what it was like, but it's very hard to explain to people what it was like, right? Because, and this is what I want to go back to, right? We came from a school that wasn't far off what our businesses were. But our school was known as a combat school too. Like, when you're in the playground and you fought, but you shaked hands back then.
Yeah.
It was you put it on, you shaked hands. But let's give people a background story of our upbringing, which wasn't normal, right? We wouldn't want our kids to go through what we went through at James Cook, right? No. The origin of the story, right, from our schooling days has probably brought you to kickboxing.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that in the early days?
Well, the early days was I pretty much moved to Brighton very early with my parents back in the 80s. And I think I was the only Middle Eastern kid in Brighton back then. There wasn't many Middle Eastern kids in Brighton. So, and the school that I was in was James Cook, and I think it was one and another guy were the only two Lebanese kids in the whole school. So you can imagine, you bring a za'atar sandwich to school, the Aussie kids are going to ask, what's that? You sort of were accepted, but you weren't. So I tried out for all the sports, didn't get picked. I tried out for the footy, the soccer, whatever sport was out there. I tried for it, couldn't make it. Not sure why. Maybe my athleticism wasn't good enough. I got accepted with one sport, which was baseball. No one even knew what that sport was. The coach was actually excited to see me, to come up and ask if I could join. But that was one sport that was obviously, a sport that I didn't really like at all.
Yeah.
So I tried it, played it, said that's not for me. So I didn't excel in anything in sports in school. Academically, education-wise, I wasn't the best as well. So I was always in and out of school, making trouble, however. But even that then was like, I had no idea what I was doing at school sometimes. So the careers teacher said, mate,
was it Mr. Forrester?
Mr. Forrester.
Yeah, far
He goes, mate, do us all a favour, Adam.
And look,
Finish
this
your
is how Forrester speaks. Tell him what, I want people to know, Forrester just tells you
how it is.
as black and white
Straight up.
as saying, son, you're not going to make it.
Straight up. He said, look, come into my office, we're going to have a chat. I wasn't sure what the chat was about. And he goes, look, Adam, you're going nowhere fast. So do yourself a favour, get a trade, leave year 10, and hopefully something happens for you out there, and just go ahead and do it. So, because nothing's happening for you here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just like that, just like that.
How did you feel at that point? Because I know Forrester had a chat to, there was three of us at one point.
Yeah.
And we were just making fun of the whole conversation. How did you feel?
Mate, I took it on the chin. I was just joking about it. And I said, mate, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to year 12. Not for any reason. I'm going to year 12 just for the sake of hanging out with my friends or whoever. And I thought, I've got to stick around. But I did go to year 12. Not sure why, but I went there. Yeah. And then sort of, but again, where do I go if I left school? I didn't know what trade, didn't have no mentors at my age sort of back then. Didn't have friends that were in the trade game to tell me what to do or where to go. So I thought I'd just stick around school. Hopefully one day something will happen. But we stuck around for that.
Yeah, it was just fun. Those last 2 years
it was fun, yeah. After a while, sort of.
Because you just...
you blended in, you made sort of... Towards the end when I hit the year 10 mark, then that's when we had some more friends.
Yeah.
Then I made some friends with all the Greeks and the Macedonians and the Italians and whatever. And then I was still the only Lebo in the school. But We combined and became friends, and then I thought, all right, this is now getting a bit better than it was.
So combat sports, like you're at James Cook.
Yep.
You're down out like a sore thumb.
Yep.
What made you choose combat sports? Because usually people that go into combat sports have had to fight their way out, and they go, okay, you know what, I'm actually pretty good at this, or mate, I've got to learn this because I've got to start to, I have to survive.
Yeah. Well, I tell a lot of my friends, they're not going to believe this, but I did get bullied a lot at school. So there was these 4 big dudes that kept chasing me every day at school, after school. And these pricks actually chased me on the weekend. So they didn't even give me the weekend off. So they had me 7 days a week.
Wow.
They lived down the road. I'd be riding my bike by myself, mate, cop chase.
Yeah, wow.
So I'm like dealing with these guys every day. They get cornered, cop a flogging, go home, tell your dad. Your dad says, you know, fight back, mate. What are you doing? I said, mate, there's 4 of them and they're bigger than me. So over and over and over. Then he put me into this Taekwondo school, did a little bit of martial arts, didn't like it. It's not for me. So slowly thinking, you know, gradually I'm going to have to do something. And then went back again, made a friend with one Lebanese guy actually, who was a staunch fighter, good guy from the area.
Yeah.
Took a liking to me and told me, what's your problem? And I said, I'm just getting picked on all the time. He goes, who are they? I said, these are the blokes. Came back, served all 4 of them. And I saw that and I thought, mate, look at this. That's what I want to do. That's how I want to be.
Yeah.
So and I said, what do you do? How do you do this? And he goes, mate, I train every day. I do this, I do that. And for his age, which was probably year 10 or year 9, I don't know what years, he had a physique like a man.
Yeah.
So I just thought, who was this guy? Like, how do I get that? And that's when it sort of clicked and the penny dropped. I said, mate, I'm doing this. And I started getting into it, training, the weights, the martial arts, and then we gradually filtered into the boxing and the kickboxing, and then we evolved into what we are today.
Yeah. And so let's go back, right? So you get bullied, which is very common, especially at James Cook if you're new, and even if you come from a primary school that's not part of the surrounding areas, and you go to this new high school, you're an outcast as well at this school. That's what I was. I came from Eastlake, so I was an outcast going into James Cook. So talk us through, like, now you've met this guy, you start going, okay, I done Taekwondo, didn't take a liking to it. I want to be like this guy. I want to get into kickboxing. When did you start? Year 10?
Okay, so my dad took me to martial arts, and then I started at, I think, he put me in at 13. So from year 7 till about year 9, I was doing Taekwondo in Rockdale, in a little church across the road from Ibrahim Pastries.
Okay, yes.
So that's where I started. And I was young, and there was a good Asian trainer doing Taekwondo, but I could not just like the sport at all.
Yeah.
So my dad would drop me off, I'd backdoor it when he took off.
Yeah.
So I never went there for a month or 2. My dad came to watch and see my performance. I walked in with my dad, and the trainer said off the bat, Adam, good to see you, mate. Where you been?
Wow.
And my dad goes, what do you mean, where you been? He goes, I haven't seen this kid for 2 months.
Wow.
I had another martial art lesson when I got home.
Yeah.
So my dad goes, why'd you waste my money? I said, I wanted to go just to make you happy, but I wasn't liking it. So I left. And then I did nothing for about 3-4 years. Then a bunch of boys said, look, let's try and do something. Then we thought we all wanted to be bodybuilders. So we ended up going to South Sydney Juniors, starting the weights again. It's not happening. And my dad was obviously a bodybuilder. So my dad was Mr. Australia in the bodybuilding scene. So he even wanted me to be in the bodybuilding game. Didn't like it. It's not for me. So we were training in the gym at South Sydney Juniors, and there was one guy in the background just pounding the shit out of this bag. Like hits that you've never seen. Like I've never seen anyone hit a bag like that. I've seen heaps of guys hitting bags, but this guy was hitting the bags like nothing we've ever seen before. And I go to the boys, who's this guy punching this bag? And they go, mate, don't know who he is. I was watching for about at least 20 minutes straight. We left, came back the next week, he's there again. Like, I've got to know who this guy is. All I saw was he had a rat's tail. So I had to ask a staff member, I go, excuse me, mate, who's this guy over there bashing that bag? And he goes, oh, that's, he's got a weird name, mate, something from Russia. He's Costa something, Costa Zui, Costa Zo. I go, Costa something. He goes, yeah, I think it's Costa Zoo, I think. I said, Costa Zoo, all right, thank you. Went back again, asked a few boys about the Costa Zoo gentleman. They go, mate, this guy's upcoming Russian champion coming to Australia with Jeff Fennick. But just watching him work that bag, clicked another cell thinking,
So
mate.
he was there, was he?
He was there. So Jeff Fennick brought him in, then brought in the South Sydney Juniors with Johnny Lewis. So this is where I saw this guy working the bags, and I thought, maybe I should box. And I told the boys, let's start doing some boxing. And they go, let's give it a go. But then I thought, you know what? I did have good kicks from Taekwondo.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind doing my hands. I thought, boys, why don't we find something that's got kicks and punches in it? So I thought, let's find something to do with kickboxing. So we found a gym down the road at Kensington by the gentleman of Mixed Spinks, Double Dragon Martial Arts. Grant Barker used to train there.
Yeah.
Adam Watts and all these guys were in there. So joined that gym, got into that, started doing kickboxing. There were 6 of us that started. Within 3 months, everyone left, and I was the only one there.
Wow.
But I actually liked it, and I stayed back. So started doing that, and then I said to the guys, mate, look, I'm going to stick with this. And again, the thing with the Kensington gym was, it was an Australian-only gym sort of thing.
Wow.
So I'd rock up, and all these guys would be talking about surfing and the surf and the waves and the beaches. And I'd rock up and think, mate, I've got nothing to do with surfing. Are we going to start training? And the trainer sort of looked at me and goes, mate, I'm just going to have a bit of a chat about surfing. Just give us a minute. Again, I didn't feel like I was, here we go again, James Cook boys, back to the stay in the corner, mate. So I went back and forth, and the trainer goes, look, come over here, mate. Look, do you really want to kick this off and make it a big thing? I go, yeah, I do actually want to try it and do it properly. He goes, how would you like to go to Chinatown and train with the guy that trained the head trainer of this gym, Mick Spinks? So this gentleman was under Mick Spinks. Mick Spinks was the master there.
Yeah.
But Chuck Fay trained Mick Spinks.
Wow.
And he goes, go there, and that's where the action is.
Yeah.
I said, mate, give me the address.
Yeah.
So I shot off to Dixon Street down at Chinatown, walked into there, and it was walking like into literally like Bloodsport, the movie.
Yeah.
That's what it was like when I walked in.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, this is in. The boys in the background on the bags, the guys over there sparring, Asian trainers everywhere just going at it. I've walked in thinking, mate, this is it. This is where I want to be. So walked in like an idiot. I thought that Chuck Fay was in the background. I thought I'd just go over there and introduce myself and say, like, I'm a mixed student, thinking I've got, a bit of credit.
Yeah.
As I walked from here to see Chuck Fay, one of his trainers literally just came up and stopped me. He goes, where are you going? I said, is that Chuck Fay over there? He goes, yeah, it's Chuck Fay. I said, can I go see him? He goes, no, you can't. Who are you? I said, I'm from Mick Spinks' gym. I'm here to see Chuck Fay. He goes, mate, don't care where you're from. Just go over there, fill out the form, and go over there. That's the beginner section.
Wow.
And I'm like, wow. So did that for 6 months, and then over time, had a bit of a chat with Chuck Fay, and then we had a good old talk. And he goes, what do you want to do? What's your story? And I said, mate, look, I'd like to fight and have a go. And then he took me in, seen my skills, and said, all right, you've got something. Let's fine tune it and see if we can make something of you.
How old were you then, though?
So from the South Sydney Juniors, that was roughly about, say, 18, 19. Roughly about 19, I walked into Chuck Fay's gym, which was about roughly 91, 92, 91.
Yeah. Wow.
And we went into this elevator, like a red rattler. This elevator, you'd be lucky to get to the 4th floor. Some days you'd make it, some days you don't. Some days you get stuck in that elevator and you have to knock, you have to wedge the doors open.
Wow.
See a little gap and you've got to get out of that gap to get to the 3rd floor to get back out.
Wow.
So that was our dilemma every time we go to the gym. But like I said, Chuck Fay took an interest in me and said, look, sit down and we'll have a chat. And he literally lived in the gym at the back.
Wow.
So it's like one of those Van Damme, Steven Seagal movies.
Yeah.
They live in the gym, they train in the gym. You walk out of the room, which is his bedroom, you walk straight into the gym. So that was exactly like the movie again. Wow. That's where I was. I'd go sit on the couch waiting for him. He'd walk out of his room. All right, put your gloves on, let's train. Into the ring. And we just train literally 6 days a week.
Wow.
From in and out for that.
So, obviously, you're loving it, traveling to Chinatown every single day. What made Chuck Fay special? Because I know for many years, even when I knew you at Eddine Academy, everyone talks about Chuck Fay. What made him so good, and what did he instill in you besides the kickboxing? Like, obviously, when you walked in there, mate, fill out the form, stay there. What did he want to see in you that he goes, I'm going to start investing in Adam?
All right, so what happened was, in the beginning when I started going there, you got 3 stages in that gym. There's a sort of a section for beginners. And then you go from the beginners to the intermediate. Intermediate, you go to the advanced. And back then in kickboxing, there is no belts. We had no grading, no nothing. But the good thing that Chuck Fay did, he gave you shirts. So the colour of the shirt is your belt. Yeah. So white, yellow, green, black, however you. So once you get to the black shirt, you're just an advanced student. And from then, he'll ask you or you ask him, I want to be a fighter. That's the next level. Okay. You get into the ring. So me being the black shirt, I got it all done. I said, I want to get into the ring. And he goes, you sure you want to get into the ring? I said, yeah. He goes, all right, let's go into the ring. Got into the ring. I pretty much got flogged, I think, 3 months straight.
Wow.
And it was no friendly fire. It was like proper. Yeah. We had the guys of likes of Nelson Tyone, who was a 6 foot giant, world champion. He's fought Mark Hunt. Adam Watt, world champion, K1, fought all over the world. Cyril, another world champion. Tony Massey, Jason Delisle. Like the best of the crop went to Chinatown. So the best kickboxing gym in Sydney, one of the best was Chinatown. So if you want to get in the ring and play, kickboxing is not a playing game. So the way you get tested then, again, back then there was no friendly sparring. So if you get knocked out, break your nose, break a jaw, and you have a whinge and a cry, they'll tell you, mate, this is not for you then, because worse is going to happen in the real game. So I got in the ring. I reckon I got concussion about 3-4 times.
Wow.
Busted my nose, broke my jaw almost once, drank out of the straw for a whole month. Did it all. Really, really hard work. So, but me keep coming back. Then he pulled me aside. He goes, "Are you interested in really doing this?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "You're getting beaten up that much. That just goes, you've got a little bit of heart. You're coming back to have a go." So usually if you have a black eye or a good punch, you ain't coming back. To see a fighter, unfortunately, to be a fighter, if you can get flogged and you come back, that shows you've got heart. Yeah. In the fighting game, you have to have heart. I don't care how good you are, what you got, what skills. If you've copped a shin kick to the head, I don't care who you are, flush, and you come back from that, that's a man that's going to be sort of in the game that knows this is his sport. There is no friendly punch. And in sparring, I fought harder in sparring than I did in the real competitions.
Wow.
Like, no one took a back step.
So, has it changed? Or is it?
Oh, heaps.
It has, yeah. They don't. I mean, that was the old school way, right?
The old school.
It was like,
there's no.
Let's see if you made.
Yeah, exactly. So if you got hurt, no one wants to hear about it. What's wrong? Oh, I got a bit of a sore jaw from that punch. Oh, really? What can I do for you? Okay, is that going to be like that every week? Yeah, it's going to be like that every week, every day. So what's the problem? Oh, I just thought maybe we can go a bit easier, maybe. Mate, just go down the road. There's a martial arts karate class down there. So there is no time for, you can't be a wimp in that game. So that's where I thought, okay. And then Chuck Fay took a liking to me and trained me really, really hard. And he goes, if I'm going to invest in you, you have to give me respect to say, if I'm going to give you my time, I'm taking my time out of your weight, so you're going to give it back. I said, okay, I'm not even going to charge you. So you're going to reward me by putting my gym on the map, by being a successful fighter, to show that JWK, Jim Kun, is the gym that produces proper pedigree fighters. So that's what I want back from you. So don't give me half-assed training. If I tell you to show up and you don't show up, don't come back. So the way he spoke to me was like, it was serious. And if an Asian man with that much respect speaks to you like that, you listen. Otherwise, and especially in the Asian culture, they're quite a serious, as you know, they're quite a serious race. So they're not here to play games, and you don't show up and you don't answer the phone, they'll never call you back. So it's very hard.
So, you're just talking about the beatings in the ring then for those first 3 months were harder than what you had in the ring. How long did it take you from that point to get into your first fight, right? And how hard was it preparing? And what was the nerves like for that first fight? Because you've been put through the ringer. You've gone from this place to this place to this place to find the person. And everyone quit around you, and you stayed. And you're going to Chinatown with arguably one of the toughest coaches.
Oh, one of the best. One of the toughest and the best in Australia.
Toughest and the best.
Yeah.
You should have quit it 100 times.
Oh, yeah.
What kept you going back there, and when was your first fight? Like, talk us through that. What's that preparation look like?
Okay, so with him, after I accepted, so he goes, okay, you want to do this? I go, yep. He goes, oh, this is how it's going to be. You're going to train 2 hours in the morning. Then we're going to do another hour and a half in the afternoon. So we might do fitness in the morning. We're going to do sparring of an hour for 6 days a week. No problems. And you're going to come and do the groundwork. Then there was another man by the name of Ray Chakti. So he was like Chuck Fay's assistant trainer. So Chuck Fay was the guy showing you what to do, how to do it, the method and the tricks of the trade. Ray would just keep drilling it into you over and over and over until you got it right. And Chuck Fay again would show you something new. Ray would do the same thing. So this was the program I had to do. And he goes, you're going to do this for a whole year straight. Then you're going to have your first fight. And then I'll put all my effort into you. I go, done. The year was done. I was there every day, did everything properly. Everything was good. He asked me the question. He goes, are you ready to fight this weekend after a year? I go, look, to be honest, I think I'm okay. I think I should be right. He goes, okay, I'll ask you again. Do you want to fight this weekend on this night? So for the weekend. And I'm like, I think I'm ready, yeah. So I didn't answer the thing right.
Yeah, wow.
I said, I think I'm good. And he goes, okay, we'll do another year. I said, another year of what? He goes, of training.
Wow.
So I didn't know what happened. So I took off and I grabbed Ray and I said, what was the guy? He goes, you weren't confident when you answered the question. I said, yeah, but I wasn't, like I just said. Yeah, I'm okay. He goes, no, I shouldn't have said that. He said, I can't wait to get in that ring. I said, damn it, okay. So he trained me for another year again.
Wow.
And I guarantee you the second time he asked me that question, I said, please send me to this fight so we can get this over and done with. So we jumped in the car. The first fight was Shell Harbour, which was in past Wollongong. So you can imagine my first fight, driving it for a whole hour and a half with Chuck Fay in the car, doesn't speak much. And I'm so nervous getting to this fight, thinking, mate, I've got to perform. I did not care about anything. I did not want to lose just for this man next to me, put 2 years of his time and effort in my training to fail. That's what I was. I didn't care about the crowd. I didn't care about the fight. I didn't care about nothing. All I worried about was letting this guy down. So 10 minutes before we get there, get to the car park, he goes, I want to talk to you for a minute. I go, yep. He goes, listen, I've been waiting for this day for 2 years.
Wow.
It's like having you locked up. The analogy he used wasn't the best, but he goes, I had you locked up in a cage. And I just couldn't wait to unlock that cage and let you loose. So I need to see what you can do, what we've done with you for 2 years. No more pressure, but all right, done. He goes, let's go. Rock up. We got there 5 minutes late.
Wow.
So the promoter goes, mate, where you guys been? Chuck Fay wasn't the best for directions. So we got lost.
And back then there's no Google Maps.
No Google Maps, there's nothing. And Shell Harbour was like, no one goes to Shell Harbour.
Right.
So we get there and then they warm us up, put us straight in, and then the guy goes, right, you're in, let's go. Mate, I fought that guy and I dropped him in 2 minutes in the first round.
Yeah, wow.
Like it was just like fast and furious. Just like I did everything I knew in my head for 2 years in that 2 minutes.
Wow.
And the guy sat down and the referee goes, you want to come up again? He goes, mate, I'm not doing this again. I'm out. So he packed it up. So we jumped in the car on the way back. I'm so excited and proud to tell him like how good was that we did it. How was I? He goes, not good at all.
Wow.
I go, what do you mean? I beat him. He goes, your hands were everywhere. Your legs were everywhere. You were doing everything without even thinking. You didn't listen to what I was telling you. So the excitement and the rush and the way I was doing things, I didn't think of nothing. I just brawled. It's not a brawling game, but that's what I was doing. So 10 fights in, 10 knockouts. So all my first fights were all knockouts, the first 10. And then he started telling me, right, you're fighting guys that haven't got belts. Your next fight is a guy with a belt. This is when it starts. You fight guys that know how to fight. And that's when the action starts.
Wow. It's unbelievable. That's almost, well, it's even worse than the Mr. Miyagi story, wax on, wax off. You had to wait 2 years. So that shows you, mate, I didn't even know all that, because that shows you the level of respect you had for him and the belief he had in you.
No,
you know what I mean? Like there's a two-way street there. So you had this, it's amazing, you had this unwavering discipline where you just kept at it, you kept at it, you kept at it. When K1, tell us about that. Tell us, like, Japan, right? Yes,
Japan, K1.
When does, obviously once you start to move, that's sort of like the pinnacle, right? For kickboxing, that's the pinnacle. You had success there. What was that like going over there? And how much different was it than the fighters over here?
Well, look, with the K1 over in Japan, that's like the best of the best. So you've got to fight in Japan. It's always, you know, the cream of the crop that goes down there. So the best thing in the K1 in Japan was the heavyweights. Because they were all knockouts. There was they were 3 rounds, 2 minute rounds or 3 minute rounds, and they're just knockouts. So the Japanese loved that. But the lightweights, or the lighter weights, middleweights and lightweights were okay, just fast and furious fighting. But they kept trying to get me to go there, but they kept asking me to fight at a 65, 67 weight, and I couldn't get there. So
what did you fight at? What was your weight?
My weight was welterweight, super welterweight, and middleweight. So the lowest I ever got, I fought, I think, the New South Wales or the Queensland champion at 69 kilos.
Yeah, wow.
I looked like a greyhound, so that was like I was just barely standing. So I couldn't really stick to that. And then they asked me to fight in Japan at 65 and 66. couldn't get to the weight. So they tried facing me overseas to fight the French and the other countries as well, because they had other weights that were higher. So the Japanese couldn't get me on the middleweight or the sort of welterweight sort of weight.
Yeah.
But I just still fought the K1 just around the world and other places.
Yeah.
And in Australia as well, I fought many K1 fights. All my fights were pretty much. I wasn't much of a Muay Thai fighter. I was more K1.
K1,
which was more my style.
Now tell us the difference between the Muay Thai and the K1.
Well, the Muay Thai is more obviously from the Thai style. So that's involved with the knees, elbows, clinching.
Yeah.
Originated from Thailand. Whereas the K1 originally came from, it was more the Dutch, Holland. Holland sort of brought Dutch over to Thailand, and their style was a bit more kickboxing and kicking, and it was sort of tailored, and the Thais didn't know how to deal with it because they had really good hands, and the Thais didn't have good hands back then. And there was the likings of Rob Carmen, who was one of the best guys from Holland that beat them over there, beat the best. Another guy by the name of Roman Dekker, who was another best of the best. And these guys were the biggest and the best fighters in Thailand, beating the best in Thailand.
Wow.
So Thailand was getting upset, thinking, what's going on here? Who are these guys coming from Holland beating us? So the best K1 fighters till today are pretty much from Holland.
Wow.
The Badahari, the Ernesto Hoosts, Rico Van Hooven, all these are the best of the best. So I was in Chinatown learning kickboxing, but Chuck Fay had the hands down pat with Ray and the kicking going on. But I needed to get that little edge of boxing. So I knew by myself thinking, all these guys that I followed as heroes, as fighters from Holland, they had good hands. And I thought, Chinatown, not saying it didn't have good hands, I just wanted a bit more better hands. I didn't know what to do. So again, coming down to your gym, I was hanging out with a few of your friends and our mates, by the names of Peter Meneses and Pierre Karam, who just rang me the other day actually, who's come down from Melbourne to see me. All these guys were hectic, up-and-coming boxers. And then you had like the Kelly brothers, Jeff Fennick, then I was friends with obviously Nader Hamdan, Skinny, Hussein, all these guys. So these guys were my mates. And then one day they asked me, and I said, when you just come to our gym and do a session with us? And I'm like, what would you have me? And they go, Jeff Fennick's the trainer there, so he'll have you. So I've rocked up and Jeff Fennick's there and he goes, what do you want to do? I said, I just want to do some hands with you guys. And then I did some hands with them. Then they asked me to spar. Then I sparred them, and then they liked the way I sparred because the kickboxer moves different to a boxer. So Jeff was watching and he goes, so you've been kickboxing for a while? I go, yeah. He goes, this is how you always do your kickboxing? I go, yes. I said, okay. So he goes, all right, I'll need you to spar Nadal Hussein, Nader Hamdan, and all these guys. And I'm like, mate, these guys are boxers. Like, I'm a kickboxer.
Especially back then, I mean, those names are massive names in boxing. In this
Danny
country.
Green was in the thing. The Kelly brothers.
You know, you're talking worldwide.
The best of the best. Taylor, I think Taylor from Wollongong. Shannon Taylor. Shannon Taylor was in the mix. Always sparring with his speedos on. So he was in there. Like I said, the Kelly brothers, Peter Meneses. Like even Danny Green would come down, Adam Watt was there. So they'd all come, there'd be like a team of about 12 of us. But I was the only kickboxer in the group. So, and Jeff goes, I want you to spar and move around these guys because these guys they stalk you. They chase you and work you down and cut you off. But he goes, the way you dance and you move around the ring, I want these guys to work and chase you more. And then he liked me that much. He goes, I want you to stay with us. And by staying with these guys, I ended up staying for almost 8 to 10 years.
Wow.
And then boys from Melbourne came to spar. And then we had everyone from everywhere coming. But I was the only kickboxer. So what happened to me now training with all these guys?
You became much better.
My hands just became unbelievable. So when I went back to kickboxing, I'd be stopping guys with my hands, not knowing. Because then Jeff doesn't ask you to spar 2-3 rounds. You're doing 15 rounds. Wow. With 3-4 different blokes, different weights. There is no weight. Jeff didn't care. So I'd be throwing over 60 kilos to 80 kilos. Doesn't matter. And my hands, and that made me tougher because you had more hits. So with that, I took it back to kickboxing. Then the kickboxing community got wind of it, thinking Adam's hands are a bit better than usual for a kickboxer. Then other kickboxers start implementing the same thing. So why wouldn't you just get your tools more better? And bring it
It's
on.
unbelievable because obviously, look, for as long as I've known you, you've loved the combat sports, and still today you're training people, and it's a huge part of your life. What are the philosophies that you've learned from boxing, kickboxing? Because they're tough, they're brutal, they have principles. They've got core principles, especially like Chuck Fay and working with him over there. Obviously, boxing is a little bit different, but you need this unwavering discipline. Yeah. And it's funny, you talk about Jeff Finnick, he was out there talking about Tim Tszyu, about changing camps, right? And you've had Billy Dibb in your gym. You've seen all of
Tim's come through our gym with his father, all of them.
But you've seen all of that, right? And you've seen, and we've spoken briefly about when they've changed camps or gone for the wrong reasons and what can happen. Obviously, you'd know everything about, what happened with Tim Tszyu and him going overseas. And you've seen how Jeff trains people, right? Yeah. Jeff was old school and Jeff was very outspoken and Tim Tszyu went to Jeff. Yeah. What was different about Jeff? Like, what is it about Jeff that, like, is special? Is he just honest? Is he brutally honest? And he's pretty tough because people do leave him as well. But what was it that you noticed that he done really well?
Look, if Jeff sort of took an interest in you, he'd go out of his way to take you where you want to get to. Like, obviously, like Skinny or Nadal fought Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah, that's right.
You had that. Nader Hamdan was supposed to fight Oscar De La Hoya. Yeah. So you're not going to get to these names back then with today's sort of promoters. A lot of things. Jeff knew everyone in America. His best mate was Mike Tyson.
Yes, that's right.
So if you went to America, they loved Jeff Finnick in America. So if you need the door open, Jeff can open that door. Yeah. So you have to give him the time sort of to get the credit for him sort of to do what you need, but you got to do what he wants. And some guys might not like the contract. If I take you here, I want this. Yeah. So then again, it just never sort of sat.
Didn't marry up. Yeah, it didn't marry up.
So some people would say, "Oh, why didn't you stay with Jeff or whatever?" Mate, just it's a personal reason. I can't tell you. It is what it is. So whatever the contract had, some fighters don't like it. And then like you had Coda Nasser, for instance, that had all his fighters who he took care of. Mate, they were all sticking around for probably a better contract. Yeah. So that's where the promoter is good. Then you have a promoter and a trainer in one. Oh yeah. It gets a bit. That's what I reckon. A fighter should just have a trainer and a promoter. Separate. One person can't be everything. Yeah. So it's a bit hard.
And you've witnessed that a lot. Obviously, one to come to mind, and you don't have to answer this, was Billy Dibb when he went overseas and was it Golden Boy that had him? Well, no, it was Golden Boy.
The first one was Golden Boy. Yeah.
Golden Boy, and then and just recently he was talking about the 50 Cent issue.
The 50 Cent issue. So,
and obviously he was training in your gym, right? Billy Dibb at the time.
Well, Billy Dibb came to me. Well, the story was with Billy Dibb was I was watching a boxing fight again in South Sydney Juniors, and with the boys watching a show, and then a gentleman by the name of Harry came up to me and said, "Are you Adam Eddine?" I said, "Yes." He goes, "Do you have a gym in Rockdale?" I said, "I do." He goes, "Mate, me and this young boy here, Billy Dibb, looking for a place to train in Rockdale. So we're looking for a gym. We're from Engadine. Just wondering if we could use your gym and whatever, if we could sort of rent it off you or borrow it or whatever." And I said, "Mate, who's it for?" "Yeah, just me and this kid." So Billy was about 14 years old. So I just reached in my pocket. I said, "That's the key to the gym. Cut it, bring back the other key and keep the key and just use the gym whenever you want." So till today, that was like a...
wow.
Again, back then, there was no...
Yeah, it was different.
Rules. You want to use the gym, what time? Even the times even mentioned were like, say, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Yeah. The gym's empty. I go, "Mate, just use the gym, lock the door when you finish, and put everything away." He goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "That's it." "Are you sure?" Yeah. Didn't care.
That was the old 24-hour fitness.
That was the old 24-hour fitness. That's the real 24. That's where it came from. Yeah. And he's like, "But I don't even know you." I go, "Mate, who introduced you to me?" I think it was a man by the name of Al Sykes, who trained like Junior Talapu and a few other fighters. He told me about you. I said, "Well, if Al Sykes is a friend of yours, you're a friend of mine. There's the key. Like I said, just cut it and bring it back." So they came to my gym. Billy came in at 14, just young, and then just started and going at it day in, day out, every day. He was living in that gym pretty much every day.
Yeah, wow.
Till he got to the age of, say, 18. Then he started getting better and better and better. Then one day he told me that he wanted to go visit a guy by the name of Prince Nassim.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, "Prince Nassim? Which one's that guy again?" He goes, "That's that guy that does all these moves or whatever." Yeah. I go, "Oh, yeah." He goes, "I was messaging him, emailing him, just having chats back and forth. He asked me to come over and see him." And I'm like, "So what's the problem?" Because I can't afford to go to England and see him and hang out with him and live there. how much is it going to cost? He goes, X, X, Y, Z. And I said, so how much do you need? He goes, this much money. For how long? He goes, 10 days. He's invited me to come over. Adam, please, can we do something?
Wow.
I said, mate, come and see me later. We'll see what we can do for you. Organised it for him, sent him over there.
Wow.
Became best friends with Prince Nassim. Came back, he goes, Adam, that was the best experience. We're friends. He goes me to come over whenever I want to train, what have you. They got more friendly, became very close. And then obviously that's when Billy started getting bigger and better in the game and in the scene. Then I think America sort of got wind of it. Then he got a phone call from Oscar De La Hoya. Mate, pack it all up and come to America and come and see us. So obviously when he told us that, I was like, what do you mean you're going to go to America? Like, we're all here with, and he goes, but America, Adam, it's like, so it's pretty hard to say no. Like, Oscar De La Hoya was at his peak. He was bigger than Canelo.
Yeah.
So to get him to ask you to come over, mate, or stay in Rockdale, take your pick. So he went over there and then he stayed with Oscar De La Hoya, and obviously Oscar De La Hoya is more ruthless than anyone when it comes to contracts.
Really?
You have to win, you have to do, you have to have, and he wants you to do 1, 2, 3. And if you have one thing out of place, you're out. So he didn't have only one fighter. I thought he only wanted Billy when he went. This guy had 30, 40 fighters.
Wow.
So it's Golden Boy Promotions. And then when that happened, he went over there and did what have you. Then he came back upset and all the rest of it. Like, don't worry about it, mate. Let's get back on the wagon and start again. So I started training in the gym again, getting better and better. Then he went over back to America, made more friends. And then next minute he goes, I've got Mayweather and 50 cents after me. And I'm like, here we go again.
Yeah.
And I go, what are you going to do? So.
Did you, when you were looking at this whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Adam, you're a smart guy.
Yeah.
Right? And you know the young kid, and you know boxing.
Yeah.
You know how ruthless the sport can be.
Yeah.
Were you thinking, like, I want to tell him what I truly believe, but he's got to go find out because there's no one stopping him from going?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you know with boxers, it's like,
course,
man, they make up their mind, I'm not listening to anyone.
No. If they were normal, mediocre names, like everyday names, like sort of aren't that big, you'd think, yeah, what do you reckon? I'm not sure, he's a bit shady, this guy or this guy. But when you got these heavy hitter names, like when you got a name like Mayweather, that's like the best of the best. Then you got 50 cents.
Yes.
These are not just normal names like, Bob Smith, Tom Jones. These are like big names. So for me to tell him, mate, what's going to happen if you go there? These guys aren't going to take care of you. Are they really your friends? Do they really know you? What do you think they want you? Because you're your friends? They need to make money out of you. They need you to be the best of the best. You have to be a golden goose to these guys. Yeah. So they're not going to hang out with you and ring you and say, how's mum and dad? How's your family? They don't care. And in America, it's ruthless. Yeah. Like there's a saying over there is, they want you to collect W's, not L's. Yeah. So the more L's you get, mate, it's just less and less. They'll tell you nicely, it's not for you. Yeah. We tried. Go back to down under, mate. It's not for you here. But to tell Billy that, it's like I'm not sort of, the person to sort of say, don't do it. If something goes wrong, it comes back to me now. I could have been something, but thanks to Adam, I didn't go to America. I could have been something, but I didn't end up going because Adam said it's a waste of time. But he went and I said, look, if your heart says you want to go, mate, go for it. Yeah. And obviously Harry's there with him telling him the same thing and he's family and friends. But the funny thing was they were both arguing over him.
Oh, really?
Mayweather and 50 cents, and they were mates. So
that's right. I remember that time because what I remember about that time, like, looked like they were partners or something.
They were partners, yeah,
and they were inseparable.
Yes.
And then they were arguing, and then obviously I seen one of the podcasts where Billy was talking about he didn't get paid, and he held that resentment for a long time. Yep. And obviously he got sick and.
Yeah, we came back to the gym after that happened. So he obviously picked 50 cents. 50 cents must have said the right things in the right, right time. And he goes, I'll go with 50 Cent. He had about 4 fights with 50 Cent. Actually, 50 Cent came to Sydney to watch one of his fights as well. So they became very close. Yeah. And obviously 50 Cent is showering him with, goods and gifts and all the rest of it and luxuries. But he wanted Billy to always win and all the rest of it. Maybe one loss here, he wants to sort of, I can't afford a loss here. We've got to win all the time. So, and then I think they were supposed to be doing like a bottled water company together. Yeah. So Billy came to me and said, no, we're doing a water company together and all the rest of it. I said, mate, that's awesome, fantastic. And then things started getting a bit sour, and then 50 Cent, I think, must have said to him, look, I think we'll give this a break for now. Just go back to Sydney, we'll see how we go, and then we'll take it from there and we'll get back to you. Yeah. So Billy came back to Sydney, and obviously waiting. And I think 50 Cent owed a substantial amount of money to Billy, and then Billy was like, I'm going to ring this guy and tell him like what's going on with the water, what's going on with the money. So I rang for the water. Apparently the water didn't go ahead. That was off the table. And then I think Billy mentioned, he goes, look, how about that money that you owe me? And he goes, mate, look, about that money, I'll give to you whenever I can, however it was. And then Billy was obviously getting ill. And he told him that as well. And like, you'd think if he was a little bit of a friend, he'd be like, mate, you know what? Since you're going through a tough time, here's your money. So everyone's thinking, 50 Cent's such a nice bloke or such a good bloke. But to have that, and I was in the gym seeing Billy sort of upset. Yeah. And then he's like talking to me about it, and I'm like, mate, what's the problem? He goes, look, this guy's not going to pay me nothing, I think. Then I think they worked out something. I ended up giving him a little bit. Yeah. And then Billy was like, mate, it's not enough or whatever. I remember the day I was in the gym, and then Billy came to me in the gym and showed me a message from 50 Cent saying some, not so nice things. To drop the subject, to drop the matter. Or it might not be, good for you. So he's actually bullying. And this
is when he's going through the chemo, and I remember watching the videos, man.
I respect that.
It was heartbreaking watching him go through that. But I didn't know the 50 Cent thing.
Yeah.
So it was like watching that whole thing, but I didn't even know Billy Dib was that far back at your gym. 14 years of age.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get on to this next. Like, it's sometimes people need to know the type of people that come for your gym, because you've had. And Adam, I know like everyone, I've seen your social media, like you've been in the game for a long time. People see your passion, your discipline, and there's probably a part that people don't know about is how many people you help. Like I've seen it over the years, and it probably hasn't served us the best. Yeah. And I always said to you, you were more likable than me. I always said it. Remember I told you last time?
Yeah, no, you're likable.
But let's go. Let's go. Like you had the tough upbringing at school. You got bullied. You went into boxing. You showed unbelievable, unwavering discipline. You opened Eddine Academy. What year was that? Because I want to go into what this Eddine, like our gyms on the same street.
Well, I was teaching out of my dad's garage, just for fun, for a few friends. Yeah. And 2-3 mates became 5 mates. 5 mates became 10 mates. And my dad's in the garage saying, mate, this is a garage for me to put our tools in. Like, you've got all these boys coming in 2-3 days a week. It's not going to happen, mate. You've got to go find a place. So I didn't know what to do, so I thought we'll look for a little warehouse somewhere or something. So we found an old little warehouse in Rockdale, down at Stanley Street, Rockdale. And it was like, mate, $230 a week. It was like a 300 square metre room, warehouse, whatever you want to call it, building. Mate, I moved in there. Mate, I put up literally 2 bags and about 500 posters. And I put carpet of all things in the...
But the carpet was a big thing back then.
Oh, right, but the thing was, to our defence, we don't wear shoes. So we couldn't put rubber flooring, we couldn't have concrete, we couldn't have wood. So we have to skip. There was no... This is how far back my gym is. So I opened up that gym in 1996. June of 1996. There was no such thing as jigsaw mats. There was no sense of flooring, rubber flooring. So I thought, what can we do? I put underlay, then I'll put thick, what do you call it, cotton or sort of polyester carpet. And it gave it a bit of cushioning and a sponge effect for the skipping. So that was my idea. So we put 300 square metres of carpet. I went to a second-hand place, laid it all out. Within the first week, there was golf balls balls of dust or fur balls from the skipping, and I'll be vacuuming this gym 3 times a day, not knowing. No one told us you can't skip on this because the carpet's getting whipped, and you're making a ball of cotton or of polyester. So we did all that, and then that was the making of the gym. And then like I opened up in '96. I literally charged $5 for a class. Wow. I didn't even have a membership. It was come as you want. It was Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m, $5. Wow. I only filled out the membership to know your name and address or whatever, in case you rip me $5. I could chase you. So that was the membership. There was no system in place there. That was it.
Unbelievable. Like, it's amazing like what we had to go through there at Rockdale. One of the things, I've been in the fitness industry for a long time, and when I look back at what it was like for us, even probably when you got your systems going right, people used to walk into my gym. I'm not paying you the money, man.
Mate, we had that every day.
I'm not paying them money. What the fuck should I pay
I'll
you
fix
for?
up next week.
And but
That week never came.
We all know they had money, right?
I had guys rocking up with.
You know, what people don't realise is like, you know, our whole like our upbringing and everything that we went through as immigrants, it was a war zone.
Yeah.
It was a war zone through high school.
It was tough.
War zone through our 20s. And it wasn't one of those gyms like today where you can go, mate, you can't come to the gym anymore.
Nah.
If you couldn't do that. No. And talk us about what the people were like in that area. Like if you said, mate, you can't do that, what would we like? It was completely different.
Yeah.
You know, not many people can comprehend what we had to go through.
Yeah, the thing with obviously with my gym, it was the first martial arts gym or sort of kickboxing, boxing gym in the area. So, funny enough, your gym, I actually was training in your gym before you even had your
Al
gym.
had it. Al Dwyer.
I was training at Al's gym at 1984. I was vacuuming the floor for a membership.
Wow.
So that was the only part I knew about the gymnasium. And then you came along and took over. I'm still here.
Yeah.
But my gym was the first combat gym. So you had all the young guns that were coming in the area. But I didn't attract only mums and dads and kids and whatever. I attracted everything. Then I had the colourful come. You have one colourful guy rock up that had a name. All his mates are coming.
Yeah.
Then his mates would come. Then another crew would come. Then I had literally about 10 suburbs. It wasn't only our area. I had guys coming from Punchbowl. I had guys coming from, Cronulla, Chinatown, City, Auburn, Parramatta. They came from everywhere to come and train there. Then the characters got more colourful.
Yeah.
Then characters came with status. Then a lot of characters came that were leaders of gangs and presidents and what have you. So the guys that would come in weren't guys you can just sort of, disrespect them and say, mate, you can't come in. Don't like how you look. Your look's not for my gym. He'd say, that's fine, mate. But I guarantee your gym won't be here tomorrow. Yeah. So there was no rules. So, and if a guy that was a little bit colourful told you he's not going to pay, what are you going to do? Who do you call? You ain't calling the police. So you cannot call the police and say, mate, this guy's got me for 10 months of not paying his membership. That's not my problem. So who do you go to? So how do you climatise your reputation as the owner of the gym? You give one guy the
green light.
The green light, mate, just go, he won't charge you this guy.
You've got a whole army coming.
You've got a whole army coming. Mate, I'll fix you up next week. Actually, you know what? What's the name? Time to come.
And they all talk, right?
And they all talk.
They all talk.
So luckily for me, the kickboxing scene gave me some respect. And they're like, mate, I'm not sure if I want to have a couple of rounds with Adam. Yeah. So we had a few encounters of obviously some colourful guys that tried to be a little bit smart. But then again, but with me, I didn't care who you were. You could be the local fruiterer, the butcher, the president, the leader of the gang, whoever you were. I treat everyone the same. And I'd say to the guy, I'm going to treat you exactly the same way as I treat that bloke. So I shouldn't treat you better than that bloke. You're both paying me the same thing. So I respect you all, so just respect my gym. So the thing with that gym then became a gym where everyone did come. But the question I always got asked was this: how did some people that were in that gym that didn't like each other not
kill each other?
We had guys that came in that were at war. And they did not do a thing out of respect for the gym. And they knew, leave your dramas at the door. Do your workout, do what you need to do, and then leave.
It was almost like that movie John Wick.
The John Wick,
Like my gym was the same. Obviously, when we left, like they used to do things outside. They never do it in the gym.
No,
that's what was respectful about.
That was good,
the boys, and it was like John Wick.
Yeah, there was no monkey business.
If you're outside the door, it's on for you guys. You know what I mean? And obviously that happened a few times. And it probably took someone like us because we grew up in the area. We went to school. We knew all the boys. We
grew up with them.
We grew up with them. And I always say to people, the most important thing in life is relationships. Doesn't matter what you're doing in life. Whether it's even not allowing, you can't tell these guys what to do. No. They do it out of respect. Don't ask them, man, don't ask me for anything. Don't worry, mate, we'll do the right thing. And when you go to them, hey, don't do this, forget about it. That's confrontation now. And that skill is is almost lost. How do you build relationships? How do you talk to people? How do you talk to different levels of people? And it's a skill you can't teach because it's kind of inbuilt.
Yep.
It's inbuilt and it takes time. And like these days you see in these gyms that aren't owned by those operators.
No, that's the
you
thing.
You see
that's
problems and people go to me, why is there a problem there? I go, you do not understand what it takes.
No, you got to be there firsthand. Like I've had how many dramas sorted out in my gym with meetings. Meaning like, Adam, I'm going to meet this guy here. Mate, I just want to use your gym because we know the rule is you can't do anything here.
Yeah.
We just want to talk it out, sort out our dramas. Either we're going to go at it again or we're going to make up and shake hands. But can we use your place to do this? Because we know we're not going to do nothing wrong in the place of the gym. So I've had a fair few guys rock up with 2 groups, come to the gym, leave everything at the door, walk up to the ring, talk it out, swear at each other, talk at each other. You call me this, you call me that, sort it all out, and then they actually get what they want off their chest because they have to, because they're here. But is it true that you said this and this? That? No, I didn't. Actually, this is what I did say. Well, I thought you said that. No, I didn't. Whoever told you that was wrong. I'm a man to tell you face to face. This is how it was done. Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know that. So you're saying that's how it is? He goes, yes. Mate, 6, 7 times out of 10, they would shake, hug, and leave. So that was like a mediating place too. So that was a massive thing.
Back in those days, right? Too,
you don't see that anywhere else.
You don't. Because back in those days, you're right. They used to just, they were ready to kill each other, but they would walk away. These days, it seems a lot different. Obviously, I've been out of the area for over 11 years, and I was having a conversation with my brother Mirat, and you're probably the same. And when we talk, we go, how did we do it, man? How did it's like when you look back at it, Adam, like we've got families, we've got kids now, right?
That's
and
the
you
thing.
go to yourself
back,
in your brain, when you, and I've done this a few times where I've reflected. I go, man, how did it work out for us? You know what I mean? Like it wasn't meant to. Like
how many close calls did we have?
Too many, man.
The one that we had with that gym of yours at one stage.
Look, and it was the good thing was we were good friends. Like we
That's
were
what I was going to
friends.
say. You're lucky we could call on each other.
Like we were good friends, and we could talk to each other and go, man, this is what's happening.
Yeah.
Just understand, because sometimes you have to have that chat because you go, we don't know what's going to happen from day to day.
Well, if an incident happened in your gym and you might have thought in your head, I think these guys train in Adam's gym. So if we call Adam, maybe we can defuse the situation because he knows them.
Yeah.
They're not in his house, they're in our house.
Yeah.
They might not have that maybe respect they would have in Adam's gym.
Yeah.
They probably won't give a shit in this gym because it's not really their gym.
Yeah.
And they'd sort of, after someone in your gym, you might think, mate, not on my watch. I'll call Adam, we'll team up, and we can sort this out by 2 parties sorting out this party.
Yeah.
So, and you can imagine how many times we've had that incident happening. So.
And it was funny, like, I don't know what it was like for you. Like for me, when people ask me, well, how did you do it? I go, that's how you were brought up. We were brought up like that. Like James Cook was like that too.
Mate, there was no rules.
Back in those days, like when you had a dust up, you walk your way, we walk our way.
Mate, that's it.
And that was the difference. That was the difference back then. And I think, as bad as James Cook was and Mr. Forrester telling us that we had no hope, it was still like it was
who kidnaps the deputy principal?
That was that was in year 7 when I got there, and I go, wow, this is an awesome school, no rules.
They kidnapped the thing, they locked it up in his room. So that's the way we entered that school, thinking, what a great school. So,
I mean, we can write a few chapters about all of that whole sequence of a couple of decades. Now, personal growth and life lessons, like. What are some of the biggest, like, you're 52 now? 53?
53 last week.
53. Happy birthday, bro. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
What are some of the biggest lessons that you've learned that you can then pass on, Adam? Because, it's hard. Like, we wouldn't want people to live the life we lived, right? Like, in terms of... You got a business and you're locked in. I went into business going, wow, you know what, I got my own business. This is going to be fantastic.
There's no rule book.
What a shock that was, right? Yeah. Like you got a kickboxing gym. You're thinking of Chuck Fay and bringing these people through, and it's the total opposite.
I had no membership form.
Like for me, it was like, man, I'm doing what I'm passionate
love
about
it,
what
yeah.
I love, and then I'm going, what the hell is
What have we
this?
done here?
What are some of those lessons and what you've learned, and what were some of the turning points that go, man, this is it. This is enough for me now.
Yeah.
I can't do this anymore. I've done it long enough. I've paid my dues. I've helped so many people.
Yep.
I've got to look after Adam now.
That's the thing. So, like, obviously for 25 years, from the gym helping people, from me training people, from sorting out, issues, I've had parents come to me and ask me to help them with their kids because they can't help them. So we'd actually take their kid in and train them and make them boxers. I've had heaps of kids being bullied and their parents bringing their kids to our gym. We train them to become boxers. So I've helped the community. In my community, I can safely say I'm respected in that aspect because I've helped the kids of the area. I just felt good helping a kid that was getting bullied, knowing that was me once. I've helped them out. A kid that's going nowhere, that's become a wayward kid that's just going to be a big criminal, pull him in, he becomes something in life. I felt like I'm happy to do that. And that's how I give back to the community. They've all respected that with me. But then you've done that for so long, and then I start thinking to myself, all right, what's next? So, and then obviously I got married, and then that's when I start thinking, when you're single, you can help the whole world. But when you get married, now you've got another department you've got to take care of. So then I had my wife and kids, and then I'm like, okay, I can't go missing for a whole day and come back and sort out an issue or sort out something and come back and say, it's all good. I've got to ask permission if I'm going to be out for the day, I'll be back, put dinner on hold. It doesn't work that way. So then I start becoming a father and sort of thinking about how do I provide for my family. The kickboxing scene wasn't the biggest paying game. Like I used to ask a lot of promoters, why don't we get paid much? He goes, kickboxing is not a family sport. It wasn't a family sport. Boxing was a little bit more. So we didn't get really paid that much. My money came from sponsorship. Luckily I had a big following, and I had a big sponsorship following to sort of pay my bills. But after you retire, then the gym had to make money to take money from somewhere. But then again, when a family came, okay, I've got to make this even more. And again, we didn't go to business school to learn how do I make this gym bigger and better. And the thing with me was, all I knew was kickboxing. So as I saw the gyms in the area, so back to our gyms being, say, the first 2 gyms in the area in 96. Today, if I'm right, there is 26 gyms in Rockdale.
Unbelievable, man.
That's the most gyms in all of Sydney or Australia. Someone told me. I don't know what's in Rockdale.
You know what people go to me, why do I leave Rockdale? I go, mate, have a look at the area.
But that's
like in terms of like, there's too many. But
why? I can't answer the question.
Anytime.
Why is there 26 gyms in Rockdale?
I don't know.
And most gyms in the whole of.
No idea.
So I was opening first, and then I start thinking, all these gyms opened. Now I've become the gym that's old-fashioned.
Yeah.
And then guys start saying to me, there's this sport called CrossFit. And I'm like, what's CrossFit?
Yeah.
That's the new thing, Adam. We don't want to do kickboxing anymore. And I'm like, if you guys don't do kickboxing anymore, that goes my, bread. So my floor was 2 levels. There was an Asian guy downstairs who owned a swimsuit manufacturing place, making swimsuits for Ken Doan.
Wow.
Who was an artist.
Yeah.
And they were downstairs and they left. And the landlord goes, do you want to take downstairs? And I go, yep. Took downstairs, and we turned that into a CrossFit. So I had to move with the times to make, more money, to make sort of the market better. So I had to evolve in that. So that was sort of one thing I had to sort of do. I didn't know how to go around it, but we eventually worked that out. And then,
And so one thing you've had to do throughout your whole life is adjust. Like always. adjust.
Yep.
What do you do now? You look like you keep fit.
Yep.
I know you swim with the boys at
Maroubra. Yep.
With the boys from My Kitchen Rules.
We've got Colin Fastenich from My Kitchen Rules. We've got Manu,
and like,
who's a part of the
in
team.
my wildest dreams, I'm going, this guy ain't going to bloody Maroubra to swim. This Lebanese,
Never.
And you do it rain, hail or shine.
Yeah.
And now you're with a new group of guys, Irish guys.
Yep. So
and you're doing some great things with them. You're helping a lot of people there too, Adam. So one thing you've done is you've always helped people, but now you've transitioned to a different format of being able to do that.
So with this group of guys, which obviously the organisation is W Now, when no one's watching, that's the name of the group. Literally, it's a bunch of like predominantly all Irish guys. They can go from about 30 to 80 guys in one workout.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I don't know how the hell that happened. What happened on the screen, man? Was that you?
Go.
He's sure? Unbelievable. Kidding.
I'll do that one again. Yeah, so I've trained with these guys down at Maroubra Beach, which is predominantly all Irish guys.
Yeah.
It's a mental health group called W Now. Now, with these guys, again, what you're saying, I've come from Rockdale.
Yeah.
And I've been brought up all my life from Rockdale and Brighton.
Yeah.
So Rockdale and Brighton, it's just this one street. It's the
Yeah.
same thing. Now, I've been hanging around in Brighton for all my life and Rockdale. To come to Maroubra
Yeah.
and train pretty much with, say, 60 Irish guys,
Yeah.
again, I'm the only Lebanese bloke amongst them.
Yeah.
So, but the way these guys accepted me
Yeah.
for what I bring to the table was like, mate, we love boxing.
Yeah. Yeah.
We love combat sports. We're Irish. We love this. We love a good old biff and we love a good old match. So now I'm sort of teaching these guys boxing on the beach.
Yeah.
So we do the training, we do the beach work on the sand, we jump in the water for a swim. At the end, we have a coffee.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a mental health group. So all these guys, just guys, everyone's going through a bit of depression,
Yeah.
a bit of anxiety, stress, all problems in life, what they have. So that 1 hour a week, we get together, we have a laugh. So like the coffee list, when you order it, all you've got is all these Irish guys. You've got obviously Colin Fasnich in there, all these other guys, Finn, O'Connor, McGregor, McKinnon, Callahan, all these guys.
Yeah.
And at the end, you've got the Leb. So that's my name.
Adam Eddine.
Adam Eddine, the Leb.
Yeah.
Where's the Leb? So if I don't show up one day, I get a bunch of phone calls, where are you? I said, mate, I'm a bit busy this morning, so I can't make it.
Yeah.
So they give a shit if you're there or you're not.
Yeah.
So they're there for whatever reason they want to be there, for the stress and anxiety and depression. But again, I'd never ever thought I've come out of Rockdale. I actually got invited to come to this group. And I didn't know what I was in for. I didn't even know it was a mental health group. So one of my mates took me down there. He said, just go for a swim on a workout. I said, sweet. Done mine a bit of training. And then next minute we were training and doing everything. And at the end they said, all right, guys, let's get together and let's get this circle of trust together. And I'm like, what circle of trust? That's how we're going to sort of, get things off our chest. And the guy goes, yeah, get things off your chest. You don't have to, but if you've got something to say, whatever, something happens, someone's had a divorce, someone's had a death in the family, someone's lost a friend to suicide, get it off your chest. If you want to talk to someone, any of us guys are here, give us a call, we're here to talk. Then I thought, hey, that's not too bad actually. What a nice thing to do, eh? Like someone's lost a family member, whatever, doesn't know how to deal with it. You've got 60 blokes, I'm sure one guy will pull you aside and talk to you and explain it to you, mate. Keep your head up, we'll look after you. If you need anything, we're all here. And if you put your hand up in that group, mate, you'll have 59 guys put their hands up to help you. Anything. And these guys are all CEOs and heavy hitters.
Yeah.
So they're not just like, guys off the last rank. These guys are proper, successful men.
Yeah.
So, and they were there to help you with anything you need.
Yeah,
So
wow.
that's why I sort of respect that. I've been there now for about a year. Next 2 weeks, they're doing a 60K walk for mental health. They did it last year, they're doing it again this year. And they just do all these things to help people for mental health. So there I am.
Well, one thing I've learned in this like today, you didn't fit in at the start at James Cook.
No.
You stood out. It's your life's come full circle. Now you're back in a group where you don't stand out, but all those skills that you learnt in life
that's the one.
has brought you back. And one thing you've always done, Adam, and for as long as I've known you, and I said this to you a while back. I said, you're one of the nicest guys, always willing to help people, and you saved a lot of lives, man, in Rockdale. You did, and I witnessed one of them. Yeah. But what's quite amazing, and the lessons that I've taken from today's talk is what I've learned about you is resilience, discipline, going into one of the hardest combat sports, being bullied, always giving a shit and bringing and caring about people. Billy Dib was a case in point. You gave him the key. You said, go cut the key, and you got him back in there. Now you're involved with the Irish down at Maroubra Beach in a group that you wouldn't have fitted back in the day. So every time you were challenged to go into this group,
and I learned something
and I think
every time.
it's amazing like what you've learned. And I think the biggest takeaways that people should take from this, there's so many great lessons. You've overcome adversity. I was in the same street as you. You're a family man. You got great principles, great values. You talk about your dad and your family. I know how close you are to the family. And then you've come full circle. Obviously, you had kids and a wife, and things have changed. And you had to change your lifestyle. You had to adapt. You had to look at things differently. And that's one. It's a character that most people can look at right now and go, man, this guy's, you know, it's like a Rocky story, because you probably, you know, if we look at both of our lives, if we didn't have the skill set to be able to navigate and negotiate,
you can't learn this. It's
you know, we probably wouldn't be here. And you know, we don't want people to go through what we went through, because I don't know how many people would come out of the end alive, right?
It's a tricky.
And that's why, like, I think the biggest thing people can learn these days is everything that you've done, resilience, you know, never giving up. You're going to get knocked down. You're going to get knocked out. Be patient. Be disciplined. And just give back and be nice to people, man.
But that's the thing. Like, at the end of the day, like, as I said, back to James Cook, the funniest thing was Mr. Forrester did say, Adam, leave the school, do us all a favour. And I said, no problems. Next week is a 35-year reunion.
Is it? Far out.
But 7 or 10 years ago, I got a call from Mr. Kentwell.
Yeah, wow.
The sports master.
Yeah, I remember him well.
It was a good guy, the nickname Hulk Hogan. He rang me and said, would you please come to the school and give a speech to say what you've did and what you've become after all the years of combat sports and what you've done in your life and all the rest of it. Would you please come back to our school, James Cook Boys, and give us a speech, because we're proud to have you there, to say you were one kid that came from James Cook. So how's that?
That's unbelievable.
So that there was
Forrester
like,
said you're going to be the greatest.
and he told me, mate, quit while you're ahead. So again, when you say one full circle, the school sort of thought, this guy doesn't got nothing.
Yeah.
I've gone around, I've come back, and they've asked me, could you please come back and tell everyone you did come from this school and you are one of us. So that's one full circle, all right.
But I just want to thank you for coming, and
my pleasure.
you know, it was good because I didn't know all about the kickboxing stories. I didn't even I knew Billy Dip came there, but I didn't know he was there at the age of 14. And it's amazing because, you know, you've done everything that you can do in kickboxing. You know, Jeff Finnick, you're very well respected. I've seen that. I've seen it everywhere, right? Especially in Australian combat sports. I'm talking kickboxing and boxing.
Well, the Eddine Academy became one of the biggest boxing gyms as well.
Yeah.
I didn't want that. But then every boxer came to there, and every boxer after Billy Dib was there, he attracted every boxer. We used to have 10 gyms on a weekend. From every boxing gym that would meet on a Saturday and spar.
Wow.
So 10 gyms from Wollongong, Shire, anywhere you'd come from out west and everything, they'd come to our gym once a week on a Saturday and spar each other. So Eddine Academy was the place to test your grunt, to see if you've got it. So if you've got it there, you've got it made to be a fighter.
And I've seen how you hold the pads and how you train people. So if anyone's looking for a great coach, a great mentor, a person that's he's walked through every, you know, obstacle, every challenge in his life, someone that can teach you lessons, man, reach out. We're going to put Adam's links in the bio, but reach out to him because, like, ladies and gentlemen, and those the viewers that you know, part of the Elevate experience, Adam's life lessons are undoubtedly, you know, probably some of the best lessons you can take from an individual. And I just want to thank him for coming here. Thanks again, Adam. And
my pleasure, mate.
Thanks for reaching out, bro, because I wanted to get you on. I've been back and forth everywhere.
That's some good stories to say.
We're talking about, how long we're talking about this, man?
Fair bit. I thought, mate, it's either going to be this or a bestseller. So I think the podcast was easier.
Mate, if people reach out to you and talk about these stories, bro, because like I respect you a lot, and you've done an amazing thing, bro, because, you know, like Ali Hassan, everyone talks highly about you. You're a nice guy, always giving. But we're going to get to a point, Adam, where our wives are going to go, that's enough's enough.
Enough's enough. But the good thing with us too, we met some good guys along the way.
We did,
as much as we said the colourful ones.
No,
back to the CEOs that we met, like the Magic Glasses and all the big guys that are builders.
Yeah, man.
We did learn from them because these guys came to the gym as businessmen, and I'm like, I don't want to be there anymore.
You're right, bro. 100%.
So by hanging out with these guys, it sort of bunny hopped me from being a sort of a silly boy, colourful, to I think we want to be like these guys, be men and successful in our lives. So we hung out with them, and luckily for them, maybe it did rub off on us. We started hanging out with them because we liked it, and we started learning from them because they were business minded.
100%.
And that's what helped our gym a little bit as well.
Yeah. And if anyone wants the best mirrors glass in the world, Magic Glass,
Magic Glass is the man.
Ali Hassan, make sure you get that in. Ali Hassan, we love you, brother.
One of the best. Thanks, Ali.
Thanks, bro.
Love you. All the best.
What?